OPEC Plus is warning that global oil supply could face long-term disruption even after the current Middle East conflict ends. At the same time, the group has announced a modest increase in oil production targets, though in reality, supply remains heavily constrained. In its latest meeting, OPEC Plus agreed to increase output targets by around 200,000 barrels per day starting next month. However, this increase is largely symbolic. Ongoing conflict in the region has already forced major producers to reduce supply. This limits their ability to actually raise production in the near term. The decision signals intent rather than immediate impact. One of the biggest concerns highlighted by OPEC Plus is damage to energy infrastructure across the region. Restoring oil facilities is not quick or simple. It requires significant investment and can take months or even years to fully recover. This means that even if the conflict ends soon, oil supply may not return to normal anytime quickly, and that creates a longer-term risk for global energy markets. The real pressure point, however, is not just production, it is transportation. The Strait of Hormuz, one of the world's most critical oil shipping routes, remains heavily restricted. Up to 1/5 of global oil supply passes through this narrow waterway. With access limited, exports have been significantly reduced. And when supply routes are disrupted at this scale, even small production increases become irrelevant. Oil markets have already reacted strongly. Prices surged close to $120 per barrel. Even now, prices remain elevated and volatile, reflecting ongoing uncertainty. Markets are pricing in future risks. The scale of disruption is significant. Producers in the Persian Gulf have cut output by roughly 10 million barrels per day, equivalent to about 10% of global supply. To manage this, producers are rerouting exports through alternative ports. While this helps reduce some pressure, it does not fully replace lost capacity from restricted routes. So what does the OPEC Plus decision really mean? The increase suggests they are preparing for a future recovery. But in the short term, supply remains constrained. The market is driven more by geopolitical risk than official policy. In other words, what happens on the ground matters more than what is announced by the group. The key takeaway is this. Even though OPEC Plus has signaled a willingness to increase supply, the reality is more complex. As long as these disruptions continue, oil markets are likely to remain tight and highly sensitive to developments. And even after the conflict ends, the path back to normal supply may take time. Thank you for watching.